Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Girijanandana Niranjana, Girijanandana Niranjana, He Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Girijanandana Niranjana, Parvati Nandana Shobhanana, Parvati Nandana Shobhanana, Parvati Nandana Shobhanana, Parvati Nandana Shobhanana, Pahi Prabho Mam, Pahi Prasanna, Pahi Prabho Mam, Pahi Prasanna, Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Girijanandana Niranjana, He Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Girijanandana Niranjana.
Sādhanā-vavatu, Sāhanau bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavāvahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyācāryāya Nachiketase ca. Humble prostrations to one and all. Now we enter into the third valli of the first chapter. This valli is famously known as Sādhanā-valli because this valli contains so many instructions regarding spiritual practices. Jivatma is compared with a traveler. So we are all travelers. We are all into a journey with a destination. And what is the destination? Destination is Paramātmā, the Supreme Lord, the ultimate truth. So we are all jīvātmās, the individual souls who have taken up this journey towards the ultimate destination, Paramātmā. How can we ensure that we surely and safely reach the destination? What are the precautions to be taken so that our journey will be smooth? How to ensure that we reach safely? So these aspects have been discussed with the metaphor of a chariot. The famous chariot metaphor of Kathopanishad comes in this valli. So, as far as spiritual seekers are concerned, this valli is very important because so many spiritual instructions are given in this valli. Now, with this introduction, we enter into the third valli of the first chapter. This valli, this section, starts with a mysterious verse. Mysterious but important. In this verse, in this first verse, we find the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma, the nature of Jivatma and Paramatma, the residence of Jivatma and Paramatma. So, all these details, the characteristics of Jivatma and Paramatma is given in this verse, in the first verse. So, first let us chant this verse. Verse number 1 of the third valli comes in page number 147. Ritam pibantau sukritasya loke guham praveshtau parame parardhe chhaya tapau brahma vido vadanti pancagnayo ye chatrināchiketaha. Ritam pibantau sukritasya loke guham praveshtau parame parardhe chhaya tapau brahma vido vadanti pancagnayo ye chatrināchiketaha. When we see the literal meaning of this verse, it is quite confusing. What does it say? First we will see the literal meaning. Ritam pibantau. Pibantau is in dual case. So the verse says there are two entities. There are two entities in this world. And what are they doing? Pibantau, they are drinking. What are they drinking? Ritam. Ritam means satyam, truth. So they are drinking truth. And where are they? Sukritasya loke. Loke. In the world. In the world of what? Sukritasya. Sukrita means good action. So, in the world of good action, there are two entities who are drinking truth. Where are they? Guham pravishtau. Both of them have entered into a cave. Guha. And where is this Guha? Parame parardhe. On the other side. And it is supreme. What is their nature? What is the nature of these two entities? Chhaya tapau. Chhaya atapau. Chhaya means shade, shadow. Atapa, atapa means light. So they are of the nature of shade and light. Who is saying this? Brahma vidaha vadanti. So say the knowers of Brahman. Not only they, others also say the same thing. Who are the others? Panchagnayaha. Those people who are the worshippers, who are the performers of 5 fire ritual. The ritual of 5 fires. Pancha Agnayaha. They also say the same thing. Yecha trinachiketa, the performers of Nachiketa Vidya thrice, they also tell the same thing, that the nature of these two entities, the nature is like shade and light. Now this is the literal meaning of this verse. So there are two entities, they are drinking truth, they are in the world of good action, they are in a cave which is on the other side, and their nature is shade and light. So say the knowers of Brahman, the performers of fire ritual, and the performers of Nachiketa Vidya. This is the literal meaning of this verse. Now what have we understood? Nothing, isn't it? So that's where Bhagavan Shankaracharya's commentary becomes so useful. So now let us see what Bhagavan says about this verse. Ritam pibantau. Pibantau, the drinkers. So pibantau is in dual case. That means there are two entities. Two entities. Who are these two entities? So we must know these two entities are Jivatma and Paramatma. The individual soul, the individual self, and the supreme self. Jiva and Ishvara, we can say. So these are the two entities. What are they doing? Pibantau. They are drinking. Drinking what? Ritam. Ritam actually means Satyam, truth. But then Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, in this context, Ritam means karmaphalam. Karmaphalam, the fruits of one's actions. So Ritam pibantau means what? Drinking the fruits of action means what? Here drinking means experiencing. So there are two entities who are experiencing their fruits of action. This is the meaning Ritam pibantau. So Ritam means karmaphalam. Karmaphalam of what? Sukritasya. Sukrita normally means sukrita, good action, noble action, punya karma. This is the meaning of sukrita. But Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, in this context, sukrita means swayam kritasya karmana, actions done by oneself. So sukrita means swayam krita, actions done by oneself. Now see how much the meaning has changed. So what is the meaning of this statement? There are two entities who are experiencing the fruits of actions done by them. There are two entities. Now, a question may come, Bhagavan, why is it that karmaphalam, the fruit of action, has been termed here as ritam? Why is karmaphalam called ritam? Why is the fruit of action called the truth? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, avashyam bhavitvat. In this context, karmaphalam is called ritam because avashyam bhavitvat, because this is something which is definitely going to happen. Avashyam bhavitvat. If a person has performed a karma, an action, definitely the result will come. He will have to experience those results. There is no choice. Avashyam bhavati. It is definitely going to happen. So whatever actions we have performed, it will come back to us as a result. It will definitely come back to us whether we know it or not. This is called as law of karma. Whether we know it or not. whether we accept it or not, whether we believe it or not, this is definitely going to happen. Whatever actions I have done, I will have to reap the results. I cannot escape. Avashyam bhavitvat. So that is why karmaphala has been called ritam here. Ritam means satyam. In some places you will also find karmaphalam is called amritam. Amritam means immortal. Immortal means what? It will never be destroyed. Till the karmaphala has not been exhausted through experiencing it, it will never be exhausted. It will never be destroyed. So in some places in scriptures, we will also find karmaphala is termed as amrita, immortal. So this has to be understood. Without giving us the result, karmaphala will never be exhausted, will never die down. Right. Now this law of karma, if we can clearly understand it, if we truly believe in it, it can be a great blessing for all the good people. It's a great blessing, this law of karma. It's a great solace and relief for good people. How can it be a great solace and relief? For a good person, he need not bother about the crooked and wicked actions of others, the vicious actions of people sitting in great positions, powerful positions. We need not bother about any of these things. We need not bother about the complicated functioning of this cosmos. We need not bother about any of these things. We need to bother only about one thing, that is our own actions. So in short, law of karma says, mind your own business. Let me mind my own business. And what is my business? Let me be good, let me do good. Then what will happen? Only good will happen to me. I need not complain and grumble about the unrighteous, corrupt actions of others. I need not worry about the complicated functionings of this cosmos. I need not pay attention to any of these things. The only place where I have to pay attention is my own action, my own intention behind action. That's it. So what is my job in this world? Let me be good, let me do good. Let me think good, let me speak good, let me do good. That's it. Then what will happen? The law is such that my good actions come back to me as good results, as happiness, as a conducive environment. So what is the best way to bless ourselves? The best way is, let us be good. So this is what the law of karma says. If you do good, only good things will happen to you. Law of karma also is a great warning for bad people. It's a great warning. What is that warning? The warning is, I may do a particular action privately without anybody's knowledge. Without the knowledge of the court or the police or the law, I can escape all this. But whatever vicious actions I have done, even if it be without the knowledge of others, those actions will come back to me as sufferings. So this is a great warning. Don't think that you can escape the results of bad actions. You can't escape. And that's why all the descriptions of narakas are given, in the Puranas. Some 25-30 narakas are described. What all different kinds of sufferings we will have to go through for the papa karmas that we do, for the sinful actions that we do. So the law of karma says, perform only good action for your own sake. This law of karma also is a great silencer of the mind for the suffering people. So when I am suffering, this law of karma says you have nobody else to blame other than yourself. Because whatever you are suffering because of your own past bad karma. Sukritasya it is. Sukritasya means what? Swayam kritasya. You cannot blame the government, you cannot blame the people around, you cannot blame the politicians, you cannot blame your lady, don't blame anyone. Today if you are suffering, it is only because of your own vicious actions of the past. So what happens? The mind becomes silent. Why the mind is silent? Now I have nobody else to blame. Otherwise mind is all the time finding out people whom I can blame. Because of him such a thing has happened to me. Because of them such a thing has happened. I am suffering because of these people. So all the time mind is trying to find a scapegoat upon which I can just load all the blame. The mind is busy all the time complaining about others, but a person who knows this law of karma, he has nobody else to blame. So what happens to the mind? The mind becomes silenced. So this law of karma is a great silencer of the mind. So this law of karma is a great solace for good people. It's a great warning for bad people. It's a great silencer for the suffering people. The beauty of law of karma is that it creates only good people. In the society there are two types of good people. One is cheerfully good and the other is helplessly good. There are two types of good people in the society. Cheerfully good and the helplessly good. What do you mean cheerfully good? Cheerfully good people are those who know the benefit of goodness. They know that this is the way to be happy. So when I am good, I am happy and I make everybody happy. This is the way to get a conducive environment. So every way I am the one who is going to be benefited. So therefore they are cheerfully good, effortlessly good, spontaneously good, happily good. So this is the cheerfully good ones. There is another category of people who are helplessly good, choicelessly good. Now what is this category? They don't know the benefit of goodness, etc. But they know that if I do something bad, I will be humiliated, I will have to go through pain, I will have to go through suffering. So in order to avoid humiliation, in order to avoid pain, in order to avoid suffering, they resist themselves from doing bad. These people are called helplessly good. They are good not because they want to be good or they understand the benefits of being good. No, they are good because they are scared of doing bad. They are scared of insult. They are scared of pain and punishment. They are scared of the law and therefore they are good. So this law of karma is such, they create two types of good people, the cheerfully good ones and the choicelessly good ones. Anyway, this law of karma is a wonderful means of bringing Dharma-samsthāpanā in the society. So therefore you will find that in Hindu Shastra, this law has been emphasized in every scripture. Right. So Ritam Pibantau Sukritasya. So there are two entities who are experiencing the results of their actions. Now a question may come. Bhagavan, you said two entities are Jivatma and Paramatma. So you mean to say both of them are going through this result? Both of them are experiencing them. They are doing the bhoga. Because the term used here is pibantau. Pibantau means it's a dual case. So dual case means both these entities are going through the results. Now since these entities are Jivatma and Paramatma, do you mean to say that Jivatma and Paramatma, both of them are going through these results? So therefore Bhagavan Shankaracharya makes it clear. He said, no, 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 no. Only Jivatma is going through the result. Actually, Paramatma is only a sakshi. He is only a witness. He is not going through this karmaphala bhoga, etc. No. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Ekaha tatra karmaphalam pibati. Only one goes through the result of karma, karmaphalam. Ekaha tatra karmaphalam pibati bhungte naitaraha, not the other one. Paramatma doesn't go through this karmaphala because he has nothing to do with this karma. He was never a doer of action. Then why should he become the enjoyer of the fruits of action? Bhagavan is ever akarta, so therefore he will ever remain abhokta. He is ever a non-doer, so therefore he will ever remain a non-enjoyer. The karta and bhokta, it is only for Jivatma. But then why is this term used, pibantau? So Bhagavan says, tathapi patra sambandhat pibantau iti uchyate chhatritnyayena. Bhagavan says, this term pibantau, the dual case is used because just because of the association with Jivatma, who is a karta, bhokta, doer, enjoyer, because of the association of Paramatma with Jivatma, this term has been used. Patra sambandha, because of the association. Example is given, chhatritnyayena, by the logic of umbrella. Now what is this chhatritnyaya? We have to see. So a group of people, they were going to attend some marriage function, and as they were walking towards that house where this marriage ceremony was to happen, suddenly rain started as they were walking. So some of them were carrying the umbrella with them. They opened the umbrella. Some others were not carrying umbrellas with them. So all those people who did not have umbrella, they were accommodated by the people with umbrella. So they were walking. Far away place, another youngster was there. He also wanted to participate in this marriage function, but he did not know the way. So he went to the nearby shop and asked, "Sir, can you please guide me how to go to that house where the marriage is going to happen today?" So then that shopkeeper said, see, far away, can you see those people who are walking with umbrella? Can you see the people with umbrella? Yes, just follow them, you will reach the house, because they are also going the same place. You can join them. So now, what did this shopkeeper say? He referred to those people as people with umbrella. Isn't it? Now this is called a Chhatritnyaya. Actually speaking, all of them did not have umbrella with them. There were many who did not have umbrella, but collectively that group was called people with umbrella. Though very many did not have umbrella with them, they were called people with umbrella. Now this is called a Chhatritnyaya. Means what? if you are found in a group with a particular characteristics, then since you are associated with that group, people will think that you also have that characteristic, though you may not have it. To give an example, suppose we are found in the group of a group of drunkards. Suppose we are found. We may not be drinking, but the very fact that we are in that group, then what will people say? Yes, he may also be a drunkard. Isn't it? If you are found in the group of drunkards, you will be labeled as drunkard, though you may not be a drinker. If you are found in the group of criminals, you will be questioned by the police. Recently such a thing happened. A person was beaten in the custody, but later on they found that he was not a criminal. But then how did the police misunderstand that he was a criminal? This poor man was standing in the bus stop, and when he was standing, a group of criminals were also standing next to him. He did not know that. He was just waiting for his bus. Police, seeing this person along with that gangsters, police misunderstood that this person also belongs to that gang. So he was caught, he was questioned, he was beaten, and finally the police came to know, oh, we have made a mistake. So, what is the cause? The cause is called Chhatritnyaya. If you are found in a group with a particular characteristics, then there is all the chances that you will be misunderstood, that you also have that characteristics. So this is called as Chhatritnyaya. So in the same way here, this Jivatma is a karta bhokta, doer, enjoyer. He performs karma, he goes through karmaphala. The very same place Paramātmā is also there. These two entities are together, as we will be seeing it in the same verse. So since Paramātmā is associated with Jivatma, who is a karta bhokta, so therefore because of this close association, Paramātmā is also called here as karta bhokta. Really speaking, Paramātmā, the Supreme Self, he is only a witness. Though he is very close to this Jivatma, he is only a witness, he is not a doer of any action. So therefore he is not an enjoyer of any action, he is just a witness of action. But then this Paramātmā is also called in this verse as bhokta. This is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya wants us to understand. Right, moving forward. So there are two entities going through the results of one's own action. Where are they? Loke. Loke. Loke generally means the world, in the world. So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Loke means asmin sharire, in this body. So here Loka doesn't mean some world, Loka means this world. So both this Jivatma and Paramatma, where do they reside? They reside in this body. Loke. Why is this body called Loka? So the definition of Loka is Lokyante bhujyante karmaphalani yatra saha lokaha. So what is a Loka? Loka is that place sitting where a Jivatma goes through the karmaphala. So that place residing where the Jivatma goes through the karmaphala of his karma is called Loka. So what is that place of residence for a Jivatma? The place of residence is his body. So remaining in this body, we go through the experiences, the joys and sorrows of the actions done by us. So this body is a residence where we live, where we are seated, where we find ourselves. We find ourselves in this body. So remaining in this body, we go through the karmaphalas. So therefore this body is called loka. Lokyante means bhujyante. Experiencing is called lokyante. So that residence residing where we go through the karmaphala is called loka, which is none other than this body. So those who have studied Tattvabodha, we all know. So this body is called bhoga ayatanam, sukha dukkhadi bhoga ayatanam. They abode staying where we go through sukha and dukkha, joys and sorrows. This abode of residence is called this body. So this is the meaning here, loke. So these two entities remaining in this body, they are going through the results of those actions. So this is the meaning, ritam pibantau sukritasya loke. In this body, where exactly are they? So the next term comes, guham pravishtau. Both of them. Now again, pravishtau, it's a dual case. Dual case means what? Both of them are there. Jivatma and Paramatma. Pravishtau. They have entered. Where have they entered? Guham, in the cave. So this term, we have seen it earlier also. So whenever we use this term cave, it means the cave of the heart or the cave of the intellect, meaning the very inner core of our being. That inner core is called cave. This term is a very interesting thing, this cave. You know, when we are out and if we peep into the cave from outside, we will not be able to see anything inside the cave. There is only darkness, isn't it? So from the light outside, remaining in the light, if we look into a cave, we will not find anything except darkness. But then, when we enter into the cave, again we will not see anything because the eyes have to get adjusted to the inner darkness. But when we remain in the cave for some time, slowly the pupil adjusts itself and slowly, gradually we start seeing what is inside the cave, isn't it? In the same way, as long as our attention is extroverted, we will never know what is there deep within us. It will be like a guha. It will be totally dark. We will not know what is inside us. We will not know what is there in the very inner core of our being. We will not know. Then what has to be done? A person has to enter into the cave to know what is inside the cave, isn't it? In the same way, we will have to enter deep within ourselves into the core of our being, meaning we have to be introverted, looking within, attention has to be paid within. And then what happens? Then the things become clear. And what is that which become clear? So deep within we come to know these two entities present. Who are these entities? The existence of Jivatma and Paramatma can be understood, can be known only when we look within. It is not something to be proved in the scientific laboratory. It is something to be experienced deep within oneself, in the very core of our being. And for that, we will have to pay attention. We will have to withdraw the attention from the outer world and pay attention to deep within ourselves. This is the meaning guham pravishta. So when our attention is stirred within, we really come to know the existence of these two entities, Jivatma and Paramatma. And this inner cave, another term is used, parame parardhe. Parardhe. What is parardha? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, parardha means parasya brahmanah ardham sthanam parardham. So ardham means abode, sthanam, abode. Ardham means sthanam, abode. Abode of what? Para. What is para? Parasya means Brahmana, of Brahman. So the abode of Brahman is called Parardham. The abode of the Supreme Lord is called Parardham. So this inner cave of our heart, this inner core, this cave is none other than the abode of the Lord, which is Parame, which is supreme. Why is this abode supreme? Because Sakshat Bhagavan is residing in the cave of our heart. Now Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives another reason why this inner space is supreme compared to the outer space. So Bhagavan says, Bahya Purusha Akasha Samsthāna Apekshaya Paramam. This inner space is supreme, is more divine, is holier compared to the outer space where this body resides. So outer space we all know, we can see it. It is in the outer space that the body is residing. Fine, we know it. But Bhagavan says this inner space is holier than the outer space. Why is this inner space, the inner core, holier? Inner core is holier because the external is born out of the internal. The without is born from the within. That is why within is considered divine. How can we understand that? You see, all the actions that we do in the outer space, in the outer world, these actions are born from where? All these actions are born from thoughts. And where are these thoughts? They are born in the inner space. The thoughts born in the inner space determine the actions born in the outer space. So therefore, all the actions in the outer space, they are born from this inner space. So since it is a birth of the outer, since this inner space is the birth of the outer space, because whatever happens in the outer space actually starts from within. So this inner space is called divine. This inner space is called supreme. So if you can make correction in this inner space, you can correct your outer space. So those people who are great meditators, those who can dive deep within oneself, they will have greater control over their life. So the best way to control our life is, let us go deep within, which is a space which is divine, which is holy, which is sacred, and which is equally subtle also. It is sukshma. It is very easy to appreciate, to understand things happening in the outer space, but it is very difficult to understand what is happening in this inner space. So what is the qualification to enter into this inner space? The qualification is purity of mind. This has been said again and again, previously also. Right. So parame pararthe, this guha, this cave of our heart, it is none other than the abode of the Lord. Now, the next term, chaya tapau. So these two entities, Jivatma and Paramatma, what is their nature? What is their relationship? So the relationship is mentioned by this term, chaya tapau. Chaya means shadow, atapa means light. Actually, atapa means heat also, but in this context, we can take it as light. So what is the relationship between this Jivatma and Paramatma? So here the Upanishad says, Yamaraj says, the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma is exactly like the relationship between shadow and light. Now this is a very, very interesting comparison. Very interesting comparison. Now see, if you see the shadow and light, actually speaking, there is only one entity there, isn't it? There is only light. The absence of light is what we call shadow or shade or darkness. It is not that there are two entities, light and darkness. No, there is only one. The absence of light is called darkness. Now, you cannot call it as another entity. Though we may say there are two things, but actually there is only one thing. The same relationship is with heat and cold also. There is nothing called heat and cold. There is only heat and absence of heat. Absence of heat is called cold. So really speaking, there is only one entity, heat. In the same way, knowledge and ignorance. There are no two entities. There is only knowledge or absence of knowledge. Absence of knowledge is what we call ignorance. So in the same way, though we are saying there are two entities, Jivatma and Paramatma, staying in this heart cave, etc., really speaking, are there two entities? So Upanishad says, no, there is only one entity. So what is the Jivatma? Absence of Paramatma is misunderstood as Jivatma. Bas. A beautiful comparison. So really speaking, Upanishad, they talk about Advaita only, one without a second. Because we don't give any reality to the other entity, because the other entity actually doesn't exist. It is only the absence which is misunderstood as existence. Now, what is a shadow? How can we define a shadow? We can say shadow is born when the light is obstructed. So when is the shadow born? When the light is obstructed, shadow is born. So in the same way, shadow of ego is born when the light of knowledge is obstructed. Shadow of ego is born when the light of knowledge is obstructed. Right. Now, what can obstruct the light of knowledge? What can obstruct the light of knowledge? Only ignorance. So we say it is the ignorance alone which can obstruct the light of knowledge. So therefore, what is the cause of shadow of ego? The cause of shadow of ego is ignorance. The shadow of ego is born out of ignorance. Right. Now, what is the nature of a shadow? What is the nature of a shadow? So when we analyze, we find a shadow is an illusory, substanceless, non-existent entity. What is a shadow? Illusory, substanceless, non-existent entity. It is a mere appearance, a substanceless appearance. It has no essence of its own. So in the same way, what is a Jivatma or what is ego? It is also an illusory, substanceless, non-existent appearance. Now see, this one example, how much we can analyze and understand. So what is ego? It is a non-existent entity. Now who is creating all problems in our life? this non-existent, illusory, substanceless entity is creating all problems in our lives. See the tragedy. Now, if you want to destroy the shadow, what should you do? When does the shadow disappear? Shadow disappears in the presence of light, isn't it? Shadow disappears in the presence of light. In the same way, the shadow of ego disappears in the presence of light of knowledge. How to destroy this ego? There is only one way: bring in light. Then the shadow of ego is gone. Now, what is the nature of shadow and light? How can you compare? So, we find that both have opposite nature. Where one is, the other cannot be. They are opposite to each other, isn't it? In the same way, what is the nature of Jivatma and Paramatma? The same relationship. Their nature is opposite to each other. Jivatma is a samsari, Paramatma is asamsari. Jivatma goes through transmigration, Paramatma has no transmigration. Jivatma is a non-real entity, illusory entity, Paramatma is a real entity, opposite to each other. Jivatma exists in ignorance, Paramatma is found in knowledge. You see, Jivatma is experienced in the presence of ignorance, Paramatma is experienced in the presence of knowledge. So, we will find just like shadow and light, they have opposing properties. Jivatma and Paramatma also have opposing properties. So, this is a beautiful comparison. Now, what is the result of darkness? What happens in the dark? In the dark, we are not able to see where we have to go. Direction becomes unclear. We fall down, we injure ourselves, we hit here and there. We suffer in darkness. In the same way, when there is the darkness of ignorance, what happens? In this darkness of ignorance, the ego is born. And what does this ego do to us? It only gives suffering. The cause of all our suffering is this ego. So many comparisons we can do with this light shade example. So, both this Jivatma and Paramatma, where do they reside? They reside in our own heart. Now, very interestingly, what is this Jivatma doing? He is searching for Paramatma. And Upanishad says it beautifully well. He says, Tad dure tadu antike. So, when we search for God, what is our experience? So, Upanishad says that God is very, very far away, dure. At the same time, it is very, very near. In this verse, it is said, Paramatma and Jivatma, both of them are residing in the same place. Uham pravishtav. But for that Jivatma to experience that Paramatma, what is his experience? His experience is either Bhagavan is very, very far, unreachable, or his experience is very, very near. Dure antike. Now, what does it mean? It simply means this: a person who has a pure heart, a person who has done sadhana and dissolved the ego, for him the experience of divine is so close, because that Bhagavan is none other than our own self. Even to say that he is near is wrong, because he is the very self in us. He is the nearest. If the mind is pure, we experience Bhagavan as our own self. But if the mind is not pure, then where do you experience? You never experience. He is far, far away. For those people whose minds are impure, Bhagavan is far, far away. Very interesting. Chaya tapo. So Bhagavan, the Jivatma and Paramatma, their relationship is like Chaya and Atapa, shade and light. Who are those people who say this? Brahmavidaha vadanti. This comparison is given by Brahmavida. Brahmavida means the knowers of Brahman. Those people who know the nature of Jivatma and Paramatma, they say this. Not only they say, Panchagnayaha Yecha Trinachiketa. Not only that they say this, even the Panchagnaya, they are also saying the same thing. Now what is this Panchagnaya? People who perform this fire ritual, the 5 types of ritual. So here what it means is Grihasthas, the householders. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says Panchagnaya means householders. Cha Trinachiketaha, and also those people who are Trinachiketas. What is Trinachiketa? People who perform this Nachiketa ritual 3 times. They are called as Trinachiketa, meaning karmakāndīs or meaning upāsakas. So in short, what is being said here is everyone unanimously, whether they are the Jñānīs or they are the seekers or they are the householders or they are upāsakas, all those people, they unanimously say that the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma is like shade and light. This is all what it means. So this is a beautiful verse. Ratam pibantau sukritasya loke guham pravishtau parame pararthe. So these 2 entities are there in our own heart space, Jivatma and Paramatma. Actually, they are not 2 entities. When there is no light of knowledge, you don't see Paramatma there, you only see Jivatma there. But the moment this light of knowledge illumines this heart space, then what happens? You don't see Jivatma there, you find only Paramatma. So what does it mean? It means only this: Jivatma is an illusory entity, what exists is only Paramatma. Put in another words, we are all illusions. We think we exist, but actually what exists is not we. It is only Bhagavan who exists. We have misunderstood Bhagavan's existence as our existence. Just like the dreamer has misunderstood waker's existence as his existence. What exists is not dreamer, what exists is only waker. But there is a misunderstanding. So in the same way, Bhagavan's existence is misunderstood as our existence. Why? Because of the darkness of ignorance. So what should we do? We must gain this knowledge. And that itself is the sadhana to be performed in the spiritual path. So what is sadhana? Sadhana is all about gaining right knowledge. Because all our suffering is because of absence of knowledge about ourselves. So now Yamaraj is praying for the grace and blessings of the Lord so that we may have the ability to gain this knowledge. That is the content of the next verse that we will see in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.